Welcome, everyone, to the Week 15 series of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you have not had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingnogwjs for article and video updates. Well, Week 15 is here. We got a great Thursday night matchup with an AFC West showdown with the LA Chargers heading out to Vegas to face the Raiders. Raiders have won the last three meetings between these teams, including a Week 9 matchup. So what do you got for us in this one, Jack? Are the Raiders going to continue the domination?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty tough. I mean, they're at home, and the Chargers do not do well when they got to go play teams away 1-5. It's really going to be an awesome AFC West showdown. With these teams, last time we saw them was Week 9. It was just a couple weeks ago, and they had a last second incomplete pass in the back of the end zone, and the Raiders wound up winning. It's classic Chargers this year. The big theme has been losing at the end. I think that this is going to be a big shootout, though. I think that Derek Carr and Justin Herbert are playing really, really well.
Yeah, I haven't been super big on Carr. He seems to be a really hit and miss. Last week was a miss. The Jets was a hit, though. What I'm looking at and what I'm worried about with this Raiders team is they are just bleeding when it comes to giving up rushing yards to opposing teams these last few weeks. The last three games have not been great for them. At Atlanta, they gave up 125 total. At the Jets, they gave up 206. And then last week against the Colts, 208. This is not what you want to see happening. And then to pile on top of that, they will be missing four defensive starters. They'll be missing their safety, Jonathan Abram. They're going to be missing their cornerback and first-round pick of this year, Damon Arnett. They're going to be missing last year's first-round pick, Celine Farrell. And they're going to be out Nicholas Morrow. These are four key starters for the Raiders.
Wow.
It's going to be a huge opportunity for the Chargers to now go and take advantage of that. We see that they're not doing well in the run game. They're going to be missing some guys on the back end. Let's dial up the play action. Let's let Eckler have a good game. I'm worried about this Raiders defense.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Eckler. I mean, he has been absolutely fantastic the last couple of weeks. He had a couple of injuries this year that banged him up in the middle of the season. But, the targets the last couple of weeks have been great. He's had 16 targets, 9 targets, 9 targets. He's not getting it done on the ground as much as he is in the air. But this team is a passing team. And as you mentioned, they're going to have some key secondary losses for the Raiders defense. And I think that Justin Herbert, this is his opportunity to prove that last game he can finish it, he can get it done big. But the Raiders are going to put up a fight. They have been playing pretty well on offense the last couple of weeks, and Darren Waller is just playing so well.
Dude, Darren Waller, I mean, I think it just kind of goes without saying. It's Kelsey, Waller, and then the rest of the tight ends.
Yeah.
They are by far the best two tight ends. I mean, 200 yards against the Jets was an insane day to watch. And speaking of him, I think if they want to get this passing offense going, it will be through him. They need to take advantage of Waller and what he can do in the mismatches that he brings to cornerbacks and linebackers. I want to see some Nelson Aguilar deep balls. That's been really effective for them. They missed it a few times here and there throughout the season, but it's an opportunity to do well. I do like Waller, and I like Carr, and I like Aguilar, I like Ruggs, but I'm really going to trust the Chargers right now. I talked about them in the offseason.
Yeah.
They got all the weapons now. They're back and healthy. Like you mentioned, I think Herbert's due for a comeback game. We saw no touchdowns, and then we saw one touchdown. It's a little bit uncharacteristic from him in his rookie season.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, what a tough matchup. We talked about it last week, the tough matchup a couple weeks ago with the Patriots, and how would he play coming in to this last game. But this Raiders game here, he's looking forward right now. The Chargers are 4-9. They're not really going to make the playoffs. The Raiders, at 7-6, this is the chance for them not to go to 500 and for them to go 9-6, which is a solid record. It gives them a better chance in the AFC to make the playoffs and really try to maybe get some of these guys healthy before they make a run in the playoffs if they can. But Justin Herbert, he's been fantastic. Herbert, he needs 900 yards, 907 to be exact, to break Andrew Luck's rookie passing record. That's over a little 300 yards a game, and
Hmm.
it's doable for a guy with this passing offense with Keenan Allen, with Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, who we talked about has yet to have one of those big games in recent games. But I mean, it's what is really the key here for the Chargers and Herbert if they want to get this victory? Is it Allen? Is it Eckler?
I think it's Allen. I mean, he's definitely Herbert's go-to guy, and like I mentioned, the injuries on the back end of the Raiders right now will give a really great opportunity to allow Allen to continue getting those targets, continue getting those receptions, continue to keep scoring. And
Yeah.
I think it for the passing game to work efficiently, what we've seen with Herbert, it has to go through Allen. But I do expect Mike Williams to do well. I think that he's a great deep threat. He's able to high point the ball
Yeah.
really well. He's definitely an asset in the red zone for this team. And I think that he could be one of those like sneaky guys that out of nowhere ends up having 100-yard games because like I just mentioned, the receptions that are going towards Allen's way, the
Mhm.
targets that are going towards Allen's way, you need to double cover him.
Yeah.
That means Mike Williams, step up. Let's see you on the deep ball instead of Aguilar on the reverse. Let's see what you can do on that realm. But I got a question for you. We got some interesting defensive edge rushers for both teams. We like Max
Definitely.
Crosby for the Raiders, but there's also Joey Bosa. Who do you think is going to be getting more sacks between those two guys?
I'm liking Max Crosby more than I am Bosa this week. I was looking at Bosa's stats going in. Big shocker. I mean, we were big on Max Crosby. We wanted him to have a big second breakout year. He was a big guy for you, Sean, in the summer. And, this year he's just kind of showing out. He was a little banged up, but he played through a lot of his injuries this year. And I think what's great about him is that he's able to he's very good at watching film, and he's had film on this on this Chargers offense, and I think that he's going to be able to take advantage. I think that the Raiders' offensive line is a little bit better than the Chargers, and that's really the only disadvantage I'd give to Bosa. But I'm not going to say that Bosa doesn't have the best shot any given week, to go get it. I just think in this matchup, I'm liking Crosby. Short week, rookie quarterback, could be interesting.
Definitely an opportunity. The Chargers won't be without will be without Brian Bulaga, so they'll be down to starting offensive lineman. Could help Max Crosby out a lot. I'm gonna trust the Chargers this week. I think that they are actually gonna get the win. The Raiders right now are outside looking in the playoffs. It's a must-win game for them, absolutely. And normally, I feel like that's the team that I'd go with. Like, understand the situation.
Mhm.
You have to get the win. They'll get the win. But I don't trust the Raiders' offense. It's a little bit too shaky for me. We saw it just a few weeks ago against the Falcons, just turnover after turnover after turnover. I think that this is a team that with Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa attacking Derek Carr to kind of get at him early, rattle him, and
Mhm.
that could just set the
Yeah.
tone about what's going to happen. And I got to trust that the Chargers can get it done, especially in the run game. I can see Eckler having a big rush game. This is a bad run defense. Let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of all the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's very hard to argue that. I mean, from the other side, I mean, I want to lean towards the Chargers, but to oppose you, I want to pick this Raiders team because I'm looking at this points per game. You mentioned this offense. There has been a lot of injuries and a lot of struggle, but I think Derek Carr is playing clean football right now. I think Nelson Aguilar, as you mentioned, he's just a guy that this week a lot of people are picking up in fantasy just because he has the touchdown potential every week. He's the second guy outside of Waller for Carr. I'm looking for a big game from Waller as well. That Chargers defense gives a lot of people trouble, but I think that he's going to be able to get it done this week. I'm looking for Derek Carr to have a clean game. And Josh Jacobs, honestly, it goes through you. If you are healthy and you are fully back from your injury this week, I'm expecting a big game from you. This Chargers defense has given up big performances as well as this Raiders defense, but this Chargers defense, they're bend don't break, but they have broken this season. And I think that if anybody's going to do it with a little extra film, like I mentioned, it could be Josh Jacobs. I think the Raiders take this one at home and keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, especially after the Ravens Monday night win, they just got dropped to the ninth seed. Not the position that you want to be in this late in the season, especially if you're John Gruden. One more question before we sign off. Waller or Keenan Allen, who's going to be getting more yards in this game? Those are definitely the top two options.
I know, and I mean, I love Waller this week, as I mentioned, but I'm gonna go with Keenan Allen on that. I mean, the volume for Keenan has been like something we haven't seen this pace in a long time. I want to say, but the way Michael Thomas played last year, that was a ridiculous pace. But Keenan Allen is first in targets right now, 144 on the in 14 games. It's just time for him. to take advantage of that secondary and just go get it. Because the Chargers secondary, they can try to stop Waller. It's going to be tough, but that Raiders secondary is just waiting for Keenan Allen to get 150 tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you just mentioned, 144 targets, only 14 games. That's 10 targets a game. That's a great stat. You gotta trust statistics on that one. All right, that is all the time that we have. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for listening. We hope that you enjoy the Thursday night football matchup.
Yeah, of course. Thank you always for watching. Appreciate it. Check it out on YouTube. Just Saying Football. Check it out on justsayingfootball.com and Just Saying No GWJS on Instagram for all your updates. Thanks
Boom.
for watching.
Enjoy.
Enjoy the game.